When a woman picks another man, it's easy, almost instinctive, for a man to take that decision as something personal. The first thought is often that you weren't enough, not interesting enough, not strong enough, not man enough. You start analyzing past conversations, your actions, your quiet moments, trying to find that exact second where you might have fallen short. But here's something real, and maybe a little harsh, but freeing. Her decision isn't a mirror of your value, it's a mirror of her priorities. People don't just wake up and suddenly shift their hearts without already making peace with that change in their mind. They form reasons for their choice. They tell themselves this new path suits them better, and in doing so, they show very clearly what truly matters to them. Maybe it's being noticed. Maybe it's the excitement. Maybe it's feeling wanted. Maybe it's the image of someone who looks more powerful, richer, or more thrilling. But no matter what the reason is, it's not really about you. It's about what they believe will calm their unsettled spirit. And if you're a man who's trying to live with purpose, you can't let yourself be trapped by someone else's need to chase something they're not even sure of. The real loss isn't that she picked someone else. The real loss is when you begin to believe that her choice defines you. It does not. What it does show is who she is and what she believes she needs to feel alive. And sometimes what she's searching for isn't a grounded and maturing mare. Sometimes it's excitement. Sometimes it's a dream. Sometimes it's someone who will eventually let her down more than you ever did, but in a brand new way she hasn't yet gone through. So release her. Not out of anger, not out of pride, but because your peace of mind is too valuable to trade for her scattered attention. One of the hardest things a man can go through is giving his heart fully to a woman and then watching her walk away, as if it never mattered. But it did matter. It meant something to you. It helped form who you are. And that in itself is enough. Don't let her actions rewrite your story into something broken. Let it be the turning point where you stop trying to become what someone else is searching for and begin standing strong in who you truly are. The truth is, too many men lose themselves chasing after the approval of a woman who is already emotionally checked out. They attach their worth to whether or not she comes back. But let me say this as clearly as I can. Your worth is not up for debate. It's not something for her to set, test, or measure. Your value was there before she entered your world, and it remains even after she's gone. There's a deep kind of strength in staying calm while the storm moves away from you. Not running, not begging, just watching and understanding she made her choice. And choices always show who a person really is. So let her leave with grace, with dignity, with the quiet confidence of a man who understands that the right woman doesn't need convincing to stay. She chooses to stay because she respects your presence and feels secure in your stability. And let's make one thing clear. This isn't about acting like you didn't care. This isn't about ego. This is about self-control, the control to stay steady when everything inside is trying to break apart. The control to rebuild your life without turning bitterness or distraction into fuel. The control to look at yourself and say, she left, but I am still here. And that is where real strength begins. So next time you find yourself wanting to take her decision as a personal insult, take a moment and really look at what she ran to, notice what she gave up, and then ask yourself honestly, do I truly want to be loved by someone who has to leave me in order to see what I was worth? Do I want to compete like a performer just to earn some affection? Or do I want to be chosen by someone who sees my value without losing me first? How you respond to her. Walking away is what shows your character. It's not about going numb or closing off your heart. It's about becoming clear, steady, and firm in your identity and your values. Letting her go when she walks toward another man isn't giving up. It's rising above. It's saying, you had the chance to be with someone genuine, and you decided on something else that was your choice. And I honor it, but I won't reduce myself to being your backup option. Letting her walk away becomes the greatest sign of self-respect. And that calm silence you leave behind, that absence, with dignity, it speaks louder than any argument, louder than any pleading message or emotional cry. That silence will echo in her memory more deeply than your presence ever did. So don't run after her. Stand firm and let her realize what she chose to lose. When a woman decides to be with someone else, it can feel like your whole world just flipped. Your mind might try to comfort you, tell you it's temporary, or that it says nothing about who you are. But your heart doesn't always accept that. Your heart feels the pain, and from that pain comes confusion. Why did this happen? What was missing? What did I do wrong? These thoughts flood in and keep you up at night. But in those painful hours, it's crucial to pull back and see the larger picture. The truth is that when she goes to someone else, you need to understand that things between you had already been shifting for some time. And honestly, the strongest move you can make is to let her go. You've got to understand that love doesn't vanish in one day. Relationships, especially deep ones, grow and change over time. There are signs, tiny changes in energy, behavior, in tone, things you might have noticed but ignored, hoping it would pass, hoping things would just fix themselves as you held tight to the idea that everything was okay. When she moves on, it's not just about the new guy, it's about her seeking something she couldn't find in your connection anymore. It's easy to believe you could have done more, loved more, been more. But what if the truth isn't that you weren't enough? What if the real truth is that both of you, despite how much love there was, were drifting apart, changing in different directions, and just not meeting each other's emotional needs the way you used to? Letting go isn't failure. It's facing reality. It's understanding that sometimes people outgrow each other. Sometimes they shift, and those changes lead them to different places. And though it hurts, holding tightly to someone who's already gone in her heart does no good to either of you. There's a quiet kind of courage in releasing someone. That courage comes not from weakness, but from the wisdom that life can't be forced. Sometimes we have to let go because the connection no longer matches who we are or who we're growing into. Staying in a relationship out of fear of loneliness, pride, or the pain of starting over only stretches the suffering, and it hurts. Not just you, it hurts her too, because no one wants to feel stuck in a relationship their heart has already left. Many times we confuse love with possession. We think that if we truly love someone, we must hold on no matter what. But that's not love, that's control. Real love gives freedom. It gives the other person the right to walk away if that's their choice. And even then, you continue to love yourself by respecting their path. Letting go in that way becomes the most loving thing you can do for both of you. It honors her freedom and your own self-worth. Holding on to what's wrong for you keeps better things from entering sometimes. To grow, you must release what no longer fits. Holding on to someone who's already chosen another life is like tying yourself to an anchor and trying to swim. You won't get far, you won't breathe well, and you won't grow by letting her go. You lift that weight, you make space to see what's ahead, to connect with yourself again, and to open up to something more meaningful. Letting go doesn't mean closing your heart to love when someone leaves. It doesn't mean love itself is over. Real love doesn't end with one person or one experience. It's something that keeps growing and reaching even after pain. Losing someone who chooses another person doesn't mean you're finished with joy or connection. In fact, it might just be the start of something better. A new bond built on respect, common goals, and true understanding. When she picks someone else, let her go, because it's not only a step toward her growth, it's also a step toward your own. This isn't about getting even, holding on to anger, or trying to make her feel regret. It's about honoring both of your separate paths by deciding to release her. You are recognizing that you deserve someone who picks you completely, and you are giving yourself the chance to meet that person. You are standing up for your own value, knowing you will not accept less than you truly need. So when it feels like everything around you is falling apart, remember that letting her go isn't a defeat. It's a decision filled with strength, understanding, and deep self-worth. Let her follow her own direction and give yourself permission to discover yours. Over time, you'll realize that sometimes the most respectful way to show love is to step away. The hurt will lessen and life will lead you to the peace and joy that you are meant to have. Let her go. It's better for both of you. When she picks someone else, the emotions that follow can be intense. The heartbreak can be sharp, and it might feel like you've lost your whole world. But in that pain, there's something powerful waiting for you. A chance to grow, to look inward, and eventually to move on with a stronger heart and clearer mind. When she chooses that path, it's often because something meaningful has shifted in her heart. It's not always about the other man being better. It's about something in the connection between you and her changing, sometimes without you seeing it. And here's the truth. When she picks another person, you need to face the fact that the relationship as it used to be no longer fits either of you the way it should. The first step in this is to drop the belief that you can shape the outcome. It's a hard truth to accept, especially when you feel deeply connected, but it's crucial to know that her journey is now hers to travel. Trying to hold on to someone who's already chosen to walk away isn't fair to them, and it certainly isn't fair to you. You deserve a bond built on shared desire, real respect, and mutual love, not something held together by pressure, guilt, or fear. Letting go when she moves on means understanding that love can't be demanded. It's tempting to think that if you just try harder or do something differently, you can change everything. But the real truth is that love only works when both people freely choose each other with no pressure or games. Once she has made her decision, it's important that you accept it, even if it stings. Holding on to hope that she'll come back only keeps you in emotional pain, stopping you from healing and continuing your life. There is something powerful in the choice to walk away and release her. It shows that you are strong and wise. It means you respect yourself enough not to run after someone who doesn't see your full value. It shows that you understand what love really is. Love is not about owning someone or needing them to fix you or fill every need. Real love is about allowing each other space to grow, even if that growth leads you in different directions. And when that happens, the kindest thing you can do for both of you is to let her go when she chooses another. It's not the end, it's a new beginning. It's a call to rediscover who you are without the relationship, to connect again with your dreams, your purpose, and your strength. Relationships, even the ones that shape us the most, are only part of our story. There's a bigger world beyond them, and by letting go, you open the door to explore that world, to welcome new moments, new people, and personal growth. In that freedom, you can figure out more about who you are and what kind of love you really need. You might come to see that what you once thought was everything was actually preparing you for something better, something that truly fits the real you. And when she picks another man, remember that it doesn't lower your value. It doesn't erase the history you shared. You were a chapter in her life for a reason. And that time mattered, but as painful as it may be, the end of a relationship doesn't define who you are. You are not just someone she walked away from. You are someone on your own journey with your own worth and your own choices. So when she makes her decision, don't treat it as rejection. Look at it as a chance to grow. It's a time to deepen your view of love, to re-examine what really matters to you in a partner, and to stand firm in knowing what you want your life to look like. Letting go also means accepting that you are worthy of more. You deserve someone who picks you daily, someone who sees, respects what you offer. Hanging on to someone who's already moved on does not honor your truth. It only stretches out the pain and keeps you stuck in place. By walking away, you create space for something more meaningful, something that allows both people to blossom instead of staying stuck. When she chooses someone else, it's a moment to reclaim your strength. Don't waste that power by chasing after something that wasn't truly solid in the first place. It's not easy. It never is to realize that someone you loved has picked another path. But in that painful clarity, there's also release. Freedom from what was freedom. To look ahead, and freedom to live more honestly, without being tied to someone who no longer walks the same road as you. Letting go isn't just about her, it's about you. It's about stepping up in your life, making choices that protect your own heart, and setting the foundation for a future full of good things. In the end, the most loving thing you can do isn't to cling to someone who no longer wants to stay, but to let them go with peace and with dignity. By doing this, you respect yourself and the love you once had. You give yourself time to heal, to grow, and one day to find a deeper, more lasting love that suits you perfectly. So when she picks someone else, let her go. It's the path that serves both of you best. When she moves on with someone else, it's natural to feel hurt, confused, even angry. It's common to go in circles thinking over every memory, wondering what signs you missed or what you could have done differently. You might even compare yourself to this new man, trying to understand why she chose him instead. But here's the truth. You need most in that moment. The best thing you can do is not focus on her or the new person, but to look inward, to take a step back and truly process what happened. This reflection is where the deepest lessons lie. When a woman chooses another, it's often not about one big mistake. It's about how she feels inside. Something within her has changed. The way she sees life and love has shifted. And sometimes the relationship just doesn't match her new perspective anymore. Relationships change, people grow, and sometimes one person grows in a direction that doesn't match the other. And while it's easy to believe that it's your fault, or that you weren't enough, that belief will only hurt you more, because often her decision isn't about something you failed to do. It may be shaped by many things that don't involve you at all. Love isn't a deal. It's not something you can earn by effort or buy with good behavior. When she chooses someone else, it may be because that person speaks to a different part of her life, something that feels right to her now, something that brings her a sense of connection at this point in her journey. And the hard truth is, sometimes, no matter how deeply you care, no matter how hard you try, they still leave. And that doesn't mean you're broken. It just means that the story between you has reached its end, and facing that takes real courage. But inside that ending is a gift, a chance to grow, a chance to figure out more about what makes you whole. When she walks away, it's not just about losing her, it's also about finding yourself again, finding out what kind of life you want, what kind of partner you truly deserve. You can choose to let this break you, or you can choose to use it to rebuild yourself into something stronger. The way to start is by accepting that her choice belongs to her, and your choice is to respect that. By releasing her. Letting go doesn't mean pretending the love was fake or pretending you don't care. It means accepting that the love lived its time, and now it's over. And now it's your time to begin anew. Cutting yourself off from the sadness or the disappointment. Letting go isn't about pushing down your emotions. It's about facing them and then deciding to move forward. Letting go means respecting both her choice and yourself enough to not run after someone who has already picked a different road. By chasing her, by trying to win her back, you are only dragging out the pain and stopping both of you from reaching the peace that comes from acceptance. You have to understand that when someone chooses someone else, it doesn't reflect your value. It might feel like it does, but it doesn't. Her decision often says more about her own journey than it ever could about your worth. You might have been a great partner, and still, for reasons beyond your reach, the bond faded or shifted. That's how relationships are sometimes. Some grow stronger and others fall apart, but that doesn't lessen who you are. This moment is a chance to remind yourself of your value, to know that you deserve a relationship where both people choose each other freely, not because of pressure or fear. You deserve someone who appreciates you just as much as you appreciate them, someone who doesn't hesitate to choose you every single day. When this becomes clear, it gets easier to resist the urge to try and pull her back into your life. Going after someone who has already moved on to someone else isn't love. It's fear in disguise. Desperation doesn't come from strength. It comes from doubt, from feeling like you're not enough alone. But you are enough. You deserve love, kindness, and a connection built on honest choice and understanding. That's why when she chooses someone else, it's not just a sign to release her. It's a signal to take your power back, to return to who you are. By letting her go, you choose to protect your own boundaries, your needs, and your self-worth. You're admitting that you deserve someone who stays because they want to, not because they feel like they have to. It's not about forcing how she feels or trying to twist the outcome. It's about standing strong in your truth. If she's made her decision, you must honor it and move forward with strength, clearer about what you want and need. Letting go may not be simple, but it's important for your healing and personal growth. It's what allows you to take back your path, your purpose, and your direction. The past, no matter how joyful or painful, is not your whole story. What you do next is what shapes you. Letting go is standing tall and saying you want more from life, more truth, more peace, more honesty. It's you saying you will no longer accept anything less than love that is mutual, true, and grounded in respect. So when she makes her choice and picks another person, release her, let her go. Not because you are surrendering, but because you value yourself enough to step away. When you walk away, you make space for something fresh, something healthier, something that matches the person you're becoming. When you let go of someone, especially after they've chosen someone else, there's a real truth you must accept. This is not a failure. It's a doorway to change. Losing someone, seeing that they no longer want to stay in your life, hurts deeply. It's easy to get stuck in questions, wondering why or what happened. It's tempting to keep holding on, to try and fix things, to chase them. But the most powerful thing you can do is stop trying to control it. Letting go of control frees both of you from the weight of the past. That's where your real strength comes from. Letting go isn't about making your feelings disappear or pretending the relationship meant nothing. It's about recognizing what's real, that holding on to someone who's moved on only extends the pain. Relationships are complex. Sometimes the bond fades even when both people once cared. That's no one's fault. It's just part of life. When someone chooses to leave and be with someone else, it doesn't mean you're not good enough. It only means your paths no longer match. By letting go, you're deciding to stop holding on to something that no longer gives you peace. There is a deep freedom in releasing someone who has already let go. When you keep chasing someone who's no longer interested, you overlook your own needs, your value, and your pride. You shrink yourself to fit into a space you've outgrown. Letting go is how you show your self-respect. It means putting your heart first and accepting that you are worthy of a love that doesn't have to be begged for. Real love can't be forced. It's not about convincing someone to stay or proving you're enough. It's about two people who both want to be together, with no doubt. If someone walks away, take it as a chance to check in with your own heart. Ask yourself if the relationship was really right for you. Often, when we're honest, we see it wasn't. Love becomes heavy when it's one-sided, when one person holds on while the other has already left emotionally or physically. Letting go then isn't weakness, it's power. It's the courage to know something is no longer working and to trust that what lies ahead will be better. After heartbreak, we sometimes believe we'll never meet someone who matches what we lost, but that's just a story we tell ourselves. The truth is, life is full of chances, and letting go opens the door for something new to find you. If you're always looking back, always focusing on what's gone, you miss what's ahead, the good that hasn't yet come. Letting go teaches you how to be whole again. It's easy to tie your identity to another person when you're in love. It's natural to feel like the relationship defines who you are, but you are already complete. You don't need someone else to make you whole. You need someone who walks beside you, not someone who fills in missing parts. When you let go of someone who has chosen someone else, you get the chance to rediscover who you are without them. You get to explore your passions, your dreams, and your own strength. In this new understanding of yourself, you realize you are just fine alone, and the right person will find you at the right time. Letting go is also part of how you heal. You can't heal if you don't make space for it. To truly move on from the pain of losing someone, you must grieve. But grieving isn't about holding on. It's not about hoping the past can return. Grief means feeling your sadness, facing it, and when the time is right, letting it go. Through that process, you rebuild yourself. You become stronger, wiser. Healing needs room to breathe, and when you cling to someone who doesn't feel the same, you suffocate that space. Letting go gives your heart the room it needs. That's where letting go becomes powerful. It teaches you to believe that you are worthy of love freely given. You don't need to change who you are to be loved. You just need someone who sees your value and chooses you without needing to be convinced. When someone walks away, it's your chance to rebuild your life to match your deepest truth. It's not a reason to fall apart or hide. It's a reason to rise. In the end, when she chooses someone else, letting her go is the most loving thing you can do for yourself. It's you declaring that you matter, that you deserve love that is balanced, equal, and full of choice. Letting go doesn't mean you'll never love again. It doesn't mean the hurt will disappear right away. But it does mean you're choosing to focus on your own growth, your own healing, and your own joy. That is what creates room for a deeper, more fulfilling love to enter your life. One that's stronger and more rewarding than anything from before. Let her go, not because you lost, but because you chose yourself. An act of freedom for both people happens when you allow someone to walk away, especially when they've chosen someone else. You're not just ending a chapter, you're opening the door to something new, something much more meaningful than holding tightly to a relationship that has already ended. It's hard, of course. Feelings of being rejected, hurt, or left behind are real. They stay with you, whispering lies that letting go means there's something wrong with you. But honestly, letting go is one of the most powerful gifts you can offer yourself. The urge to hold on to what the relationship used to be is strong. We often paint it in our minds as better than it was. But that's not the truth. Holding on to someone who has made a different choice doesn't respect either of you. It stops both of you from growing and from stepping into what comes next. We live in a society that constantly teaches us to keep fighting for what we desire. We're told that success is earned through effort, through struggle, and by never backing down. And while that idea helps in many parts of life, it can be dangerous when it comes to love. Relationships aren't meant to be forced. They aren't about pushing, convincing, or pleading for someone to remain. Real love comes from mutual effort, shared respect, and a caring connection from both sides. When someone chooses to go, it shows that they no longer wish to continue that journey with you. It doesn't say anything bad about you. It just means things have changed. Trying to keep someone who has already left, emotionally or physically, will only make your pain last longer. Letting go isn't easy, but it's necessary. The first step is to see that losing them doesn't mean you've lost everything. It means you're getting your life back. When we're deep in a relationship, especially one that's no longer helping us grow, we often forget who we were before we met them. We forget our own dreams, our own voice, and even our own worth. We get so wrapped up in someone else's life that we stop living our own. When they choose someone else, it's a moment to wake up. It's a signal to remember your own identity and, more importantly, to go back to what truly matters to you. Letting go is more than just leaving someone behind. It's about taking back your energy. It's about choosing to move forward rather than staying stuck in a place where you're always hoping for something that's no longer there. It's an act of respecting yourself. Hanging on to someone who no longer feels the same way doesn't do either of you any good. You're not giving them the freedom to live their life honestly, and you're not giving yourself the space you need to recover and grow. When you choose to release them, you're saying that both of you deserve to be with someone who is completely there, someone who wants to stay without being asked. At the center of letting go is the truth that no one owes anyone their love. Love is a gift. It's not something you can demand or chase down. When she picks someone else, it means her heart has gone in a new direction. Yes, that stings. But it's vital to understand that her emotions are hers. You can't change them, and you shouldn't try. Trying to earn back someone's love drains you and keeps you trapped in a painful pattern of hope and heartache. By letting go, you break free from that loop. You make room for something better, something that matches who you really are and what you truly need. Letting go also opens doors to new paths. Just because a relationship ends doesn't mean your life is over. In fact, it's often when the ties to the past are broken that we begin to see clearly. We find out what drives us, what excites us, and what brings us real joy. Maybe you'll pick up new goals, explore a skill you left behind, or meet people who lift you up. The act of letting go lets you rediscover your strength and freedom. It's like starting fresh. You get to move ahead without the heavy emotions that drag you down when you hold on to someone who's already moved on. This journey of releasing someone is deeply important for your emotional and mental well-being. When you set free someone who's chosen a different path, you're not just letting them go, you're also creating space for your own healing. That's how you begin to repair the wounds and walk toward a life built on self-respect and care. Healing doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. You might feel sad, angry, or lost at times. But if you stay committed to caring for your own heart, you'll slowly feel lighter, you'll feel calmer, and little by little, your heart will be ready to love again, not out of desperation, but from a place of fullness. Letting go isn't failure. It's not giving up. It's the clear recognition that your value doesn't depend on someone else's choices. Just because they leave doesn't mean you're not lovable or that you're not enough. It means it's time for both of you to go your separate ways and grow apart, so you can each find what is truly right. In that space, you'll meet new experiences, new people, and perhaps a new version of yourself, one that is wiser, stronger, and more open to the love you deserve. The connection you have with yourself will always be the most important relationship you can build, and when you finally let go of what no longer supports you, you make room for something better to come. So when she chooses to be with someone else, let her go, not because you're weak, not because you've lost, but because you know that clinging to something that isn't right only keeps you both stuck, and you were never meant to be stuck. You were meant to grow, to move forward, and to find what's truly meant for you.